Hi, Essie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. So back in 2016, you thought Pelosi should exit, that she wasn't the future of your party. I assume after these last few messaging nightmares, you think that's even more urgent.
Well, I spoke my piece a year ago, Essie, and I was pretty clear as to where I stood, as to where we need to go. But what we've seen in the last year or so is that the rank and file members of our caucus who ultimately make this decision have elected for the current leadership team to stay into the next election cycle. And so, you know, I buckle my helmet and I'm going to get out there and help campaign for people who we need to win. I think there's a great opportunity. We saw in the Missouri, some of the state Missouri races. We saw in Virginia that people are moving back into the Democratic fold. I do have some critiques on our message. I think it needs to be pretty forceful around economic issues, bread and butter issues like pensions and wages. You know, we talk a lot about a $15 minimum wage, which can be appropriate, but as Democrats, I want to see us talk about $35 or $40 an hour, because that's what people were making, and now they're down to $15 an hour. So we've got to speak to that economic aspiration, and I think if we do, that we'll be a lot more successful.
Well, she's having some difficulty keeping her party together. At least some are worried that Dems will lose the House and therefore that Pelosi will be the problem. Shouldn't the Pelosi problem be addressed sooner rather than just waiting until the next election cycle?
Well, as I said, I had my say, and I did what I thought I needed to do that was in the best interest of the party last year. And again, the rank and file members, just like they picked Paul Ryan or Mitch McConnell or Chuck Schumer, have chosen our current leadership team, and that's who we're going into war with right now. And so we've got to, I think, hone a message. We have broadened the people who are speaking on behalf of the party. You saw Joe Kennedy the other night. You see
I
guys
saw
like
five Democrats give the rebuttal. I'm not sure that that's a vote for a cohesive message, and I'm wondering if you think some of your colleagues regret keeping Pelosi around in that position of power, considering some of the things she's recently said.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to talk to them about it. I will just say that I don't think that the Democratic Party as a whole, both in the House and in the Senate, have sharpened an economic message that speaks to the aspirations of most Americans. You know, those people who take a shower after work, those are the people we need to speak to, the waitresses and waiters and bartenders who are now going to be hurt by President Trump's initiative that's going to take their tips away. For example, we should be hammering that issue. These are working class people. These are single moms who work all day and night to try to make ends meet for them and their kids. And we should be talking to them about how we're on their side and the president is not. Those are the kind of things we need to highlight.
What you just said is 1,000 times better than what I've been hearing from Nancy Pelosi and a lot of other coastal Democrats. And I think if there's any lesson that should be learned from 2016, it's that Democrats like you are the future of your party. You're a Rust Belt Democrat. You speak the language of middle America. I mean, just there you did it, talking about people who take showers after work. That is visceral. That is good stuff. You get real world problems like plants closing down and heroin ravaging small towns. Why aren't Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer begging you to become the face of the party?
Again, you're going to have to ask them. I put myself forward, my family and I did, and you know, it didn't work out. But I think we keep talking about these issues, and I'm going to keep talking about these issues. And I'm going to go to Indiana and West Virginia and Florida and some of these southern states. I was down in Alabama for Doug Jones. I mean, those are the places we need to go and not give up on those people. They want to vote for Democrats, but we've got to give them a good reason to be able to do it. And it's that economic aspiration. It's about what the country's going to look like in 10 years, what kind of opportunities are your kids going to have, and all these burdens. And here, real quick, let me just say, Essie, we've got to pull a broader coalition together because these systems are all broken. So we're talking about DACA now and these 12 million kids. No reason we shouldn't be able to fix this problem, but it's the result of a broken immigration system. We have people, Teamsters, coal miners, who are losing their pensions getting cut in half. That's part of a broken economic system. Wages are down. That's a broken economic system. Healthcare, it's a broken healthcare system. when you spend 2.5 times more on health care and get worse results than all of the other industrialized countries. So what we need to say as Democrats is like, we're for fixing all of these systems where people are getting screwed. And we better let all of these different groups know that they're not going to get anything done unless we all come together and say, hey, we need to reform the system. It is rigged in so many ways. People are trapped in these systems, criminal justice system, decriminalization, things like that. We're all on the same team. And if we have a big, broad vision like that and a big broad message like that, we can build a national party again.
Well, I think the criticism of that idea would be that government has not been the right mechanism to fix a lot of those broken systems, and you'll probably run into that argument, after primaries. But you're aware of that race in Pennsylvania 18, where the Republican is running against Pelosi, essentially, and trying to paint the Democrat Conor Lamb as Pelosi light, even though he's already suggested Pelosi should leave her post and he would not back her for leadership if elected. If this works for the Republican in that March election, will that be a template for Republicans for 2018? And are you worried about that?
Well, there's no question that that's their go-to move. They're using it now. They used it the last 8 years, and I think they're going to continue to use it because I don't know if they have a real affirmative message for the country themselves, so they want to continue to, hit Nancy Pelosi and try to tire our candidates. They might not need one with all of her bone mow. I mean, they might not need a big message. Here's their problem, and we saw it in Virginia, and we just saw it in Missouri, and you're going to see it in the Conor Lamb district. Here's a U.S. attorney, a Marine. I'm going to go over there and campaign with him down in the western part of Pennsylvania, which looks a lot like Youngstown, Ohio.
Right.
We're probably going to go shoot some guns down there, maybe shoot some skeet and shoot some clays and have some fun. He's in line culturally with that district.
Right.
And he has said that leadership on both sides need to go, not just on the Democratic side, but Paul Ryan too. And Paul Ryan's not polling very well in that district. So here's a new generation, a new leader, a real pragmatic Democrat who's there for the people. And I think that can inoculate him from the traditional Republican attack that just talks about Nancy Pelosi. I mean, here's a young guy in Western PA. He's probably never met Nancy Pelosi. So he has some inoculation to
his credit. So if Democrats do take the House in 2018, would you say, great job, Mrs. Pelosi, thanks for getting us through the midterms, now please exit?
Again, the caucus will make that judgment.
No, I'm asking what you would say. What would you say if she gets you through the midterms and Democrats take the House? Looking now toward a national election in 2020, would you say, Ms. Pelosi, please find the door and let us take the helm?
S.E. Cupp, you're good. Let me just tell you, I will just say that I will come to a decision if that happens and when that happens, and if we win the House back. That's a first world problem. That's a high-class problem for us to have. I spoke my piece a year ago, and I was pretty clear to everybody why, and hopefully we can win the House back and have that decision to make, and I will come back on your show.
Oh, good. I was just going to ask you. You'll say it here.
I will make an announcement, yes.
Okay, perfect. Congressman Ryan, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.